Okay, so we can't wait for one of the persons to come. So we're just going to start our lesson. So today we're going to go to the Unit 5 free school lunches. Can Laura and Lily turn on your camera? Laura. Okay. Laura. Never mind. So today the topic today is debate topic. Should school lunch be free or not? So firstly, before we go into our main lessons, we're going to go to the warm-up question first. First question, what do you usually have for lunch at schools? Do you bring your lunch from home or does your school give you lunch? Is the food free or students have to pay for it? Raise your hand if you know how to answer these questions. Dylan? Dylan,
Yes.
can you answer these questions?
First, I never eat lunch at school. Um, Sometimes my school's kids for some students eat their lunch. Every month they have to pay fine for the chef to cook the meals for them.
Okay then. So Dylan, if your school have like lunch, what do you want to eat? Just if.
I will want to eat rice, meat, and soup.
Okay. But how about Laura? 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 Never mind. So Lily? Lily?
I usually have rice, meat, and vegetables for lunch at school. My school gives lunches, and I do not bring my lunch, from home. The food isn't free and students have to pay for it.
Okay, good. Laura? Laura? Laura, can you answer this question? Laura. Laura, can you answer this question?
Sorry, okay, I will answer the questions. I usually have meat, rice, and vegetables for lunch at school.
The two other question.
I at my school they're not allowed me to bring lunch from like my school give us lunch every day, so I don't need to bring my lunch from home. The lunch, the food is I need to pay for the food, but it's not expensive much. Some students need help or they have like poor family, they can get it for free.
Okay, so now let's move on to the introduction of what we're going to learn today. So, firstly, lunch program exists in many countries over the world. In the US, the first free lunch program started in 1946. The country, like Sweden, Finland, and the other Citizens Republic, give students free meal each day when they go to school. These lunches help all students to get nutrition they need to studies, to educated, and patient on studies. So the main question of this today topic is that should school provide free lunches or should students pay for them? So some more example I'm going to give is that in Japan, ultimately schools in Japan provide well-balanced hot meals and including food education as part of the day. So study shows that students who eat regularly food meals have better concentrations and fewer behavioral problems. So in 2020, the UK government faced criminalized when it tries to stop free lunches voucher during school breaks. So public pressures lead them to bring the program back. So teacher reports that hungry students are more likely to struggle with learning and fall behind in classes. Now, firstly, let's move on to the affirmative teams, which the position one, school lunches should be free. So, what is the main argument of this topic? The main argument is free meals helps students and families. So, so firstly, lower income family cannot always affording school lunches. So for lower income families, which families are poor, they don't have much money or much things to help their child to afford school lunches. Free lunches allowed all students to eat healthy meals, and students get nutrition meals that help their brain develop and concentrate on learning. Better nutrition also mean better academic performance. So, for example, in Britain, students perform improved after free lunches are provided. So, on the proposition one, the main argument, free meals help students and both families. Both students and families also help their families as well. So, the affirmative team strongly support the idea that free school lunches for all students. They believe that no children goes or should go hungry, especially at school where they need energy to focus on concentrated on their learning. Many students come from low income families and may not always have access to a healthy meal at home. Providing free lunches ensure that every student, no matter their backgrounds and no matter if they're rich or maybe poor, have the fair chance to success in school. Studies shown that children who have balanced meal perform better in class, behave more behaving well, calmly, and more alert. So, can someone give me an example of some of the advantages that school lunch should be free? Dylan?
So I think that school lunches should be free because some families is busy and they cannot just go home and cook food for their children, and then they can just not give monies for schools for lunches, and they can give for and all and their children can have a good meals too.
Okay, very good. So, Lily.
School lunches should be free because so that everyone would have the same lunch. So they wouldn't bully other people because that they have a different lunch and they couldn't afford school lunches.
Okay, Laura? Laura, yeah. Laura, I can't hear anything.
Em đỡ hiểu sao đâu.
Can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
First, free lunches help reduce social stigma between students from different income levels. Everyone eats the same meal, so no one feels left out or embarrassed. Also, it also supports mental health, encourages healthy eating habits, and improves attendance for students.
Okay, very good. Now, moving on to the next is also the proposition one is extra benefit for students. So firstly, it's encourage equal opportunity in education and prevent students from skipping meal due to the cost, and all students can focus better on learning more efficiently. So the extra benefit, which is encourage an equal opportunity for both education and education, is providing students the rights to have their meals, and then encourage them to do the educations, which is learning, and concentrate better on their both learnings and educated. So this also prevents students from skipping meal due to cost. A lot of low-income families don't have like money enough to pay for lunches, so they are also prevent students from skipping meal due to a lot of their costs. All students can focus better on learning more efficiency. So, can someone give me and some of the advantage of some like the advantages of having like free lunches? Lily.
School lunches can help students learn better in class and focus on studying more than worrying which day what to eat.
Okay. Dylan.
So I think more what yeah. So I think that the benefits is that children can just get a good meal that can have a lot of vitamins and energies for them to learn another lessons and learn at the afternoon.
Okay.
Truyền lại đời, truyền đời.
Laura.
Extra benefits are they help build lifelong healthy eating habits by providing balanced meals daily. Families also can save money on others essentials like school stationaries for students.
Okay, so you guys have presented some of the position one, some of the extra benefit for students if they have free lunches. So firstly, it's improve academic performance. It's also reduce hunger and increase attendance. It's healthier meals choices and successful example in around the world like Finland, who offers free school meals to all students, and it's known for having one of the best education system in school. Moving on to the position 2 is students should pay for lunches, which is a negative team that you strongly believe that students should pay for school lunches. So the main argument here is free lunches cost money and teach the wrong lessons. So school need money to give lunches. The government may need to raise taxes, and not all taxpayers agree with paying more. So free meals may make students think everything in life is free, and saying that there's no such things as free lunches. Students need to learn about effort and responsibility to make their own money to pay for lunches. So in this case, that students should pay for lunches is that sometimes schools don't have much money. They decrease the amount of money that schools have, and students should pay for their own need to learn about effort and their own responsibilities when they don't have lunches. So on the other hand, the negativity believe that free school lunches for everyone is not the best solution. While helping children is not as very important, giving free meals is also including those who are healthy family is not fair or even efficiency. So it used up all the money that schools could spend on their important areas, such as their felicity. The negative team suggested that only students who truly need help should receive free meal. That way, resources don't waste away and can be used wisely and fairly. They also argued that consistently giving students things for free can teach the wrong lessons. They might think in the world that everything is free. So can someone give me an example of that students should pay for lunches instead of free lunches at school? Laura.
My opinions are first, they encourages responsibilities. Second, school budgets can be used like elsewhere. They also can reduces food waste and fairness to taxpayers.
Okay, great. Dylan.
So I think that students should pay for lunches because we pay for lunches.
Theo huyết thống
I
từ khi
think-
sinh ra.
Government will just give schools another monies for buying
Biology cô
food
là luật hết.
because I think that we just
Biology cô
have
là
to pay
luật
a
hết.
little bit money.
Theo huyết thống từ khi sinh ra.
Okay. Lily. Lily.
When school lunches are free, schools cannot afford a lot of money for every student. If school have free lunches for poor income people and other people, it will be not fair to other people. So schools have to pay for all the children in schools and taxes will be raised.
Okay then. Now, keep moving on to the position 2 is the extra concerns about students. So they may teach the wrong lessons. It's nothing, it's truly free. Students may think that everything in the world has free things and they take advantages of it. So students may expect free things without efforts and they might think everything they buy has to be free, like the school lunches. They might just they thought that everything in the world is free and took advantages of it. They thought that they don't have to work for free things. They just get for free. So the famous says that there are no such things as free lunches like that. So there are a lot of things, a lot of things around the world that's most of those things that there's might be free because it's too expensive, and if there are like a lot of things that are free, students take advantages of it, which they thought that things around them has to be free instead of they need to work for free. They teach the wrong lessons, students expect things without efforts, and a lot of say that there are no such things as free lunches. Also, teachers, some of the teacher, some in some school of the world, including parents, also says that there are no such thing as free lunch, and students don't behave well in school. They thought everything is free. Who's going to give me an example of the extra concern about students? Anyone? Raise your hand.
Hi Mary, can you back to the last slide?
Okay.
Cái gì nữa?
You mean this slide?
No, the last slide. The position 2 school should pay for lunches. Yes,
Mẹ có bảo là tắt đi.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Can you just wait for a minute for Dylan?
Yes.
Dylan, can I move on? Or you finish something?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can someone give me some of the extra concern? Okay, Laura.
First, they aren't fair for taxpayers. They could strain school budgets. The quality might drop. Students can miss like financial lesson.
Great. Lily. Look.
Students may think that everything is free and they wouldn't have to pay for it and still get it.
Okay then. So some of the supporting evidence for this side is that first is high cost to government. Second is waste food. Third is some family don't need it, and parental responsibilities. Like some argue that providing meal should be the family's responsibility, not the school. It teaches children's life skill like budgeting, food choices, and responsibility. So five is quality concern. Like in some free food program, food equality may be low due to budget limits and is checking if families is poor to make sure that only the ones is need to receive free meal. Like they're not always all the students, even rich students and poor students, have meal. It's not fair, and so they make sure that only ones, like the ones who are poor, can receive free meals. So some of the example is universe a free lunches program can cost billions of money. For example, in US, the national school lunch program costs over 14 billion per year, and studies shows that in some school up to 40% of school food is thrown away, and especially when students are forced to take food to they want. So when rich and poor families are all receive free meal, money is spent on people who don't need them, and that money could go and school requires teacher trained and after school program instead. So moving on to the debate strategy tip later, we're going to have later. So choose your sides clearly. Wait a minute. So firstly, choose your side clearly. What side do you want? However, like the affirmative side, would you agree that that is free lunches at school? On the negative team is that students should pay for free lunches. Then use example from real country. Do a quick research, like for example, like some of the example from real country, like Britain, South Korea, and stuff. And explain long-term effect, like long terms, which is for long, which is the long-term effect, like nutrition, responsibilities, and the cost. So the question weaknesses the other side argument, which you don't actually need to. So the on the discussion prompt is should school lunch be free or not be free? Support your opinion with facts, examples from both sides. So some of the example like on the positions like on the position one, I think, is like some of the examples on, for example, in Britain, students perform improve after free lunches are provided. That is, for example, and the real life evidence you need to support to actually support your speech. In conclusion, there are strong arguments for both sides, negative and affirmative. Free lunches support equality and health. Pays lunches teach life lesson and reduce tax burden to school, both teachers, families, and yeah, students. The one matter is balancing students' need to finish responsibilities. Do anyone have any questions? So, yeah. Do anyone have any question? So what I need to tell you is that when you debate a speech, try to write it on your note. Try to write your own argument instead of reading the whole passage. Like the main argument here is free meal helps students and family, for example, the proposition one. And yeah, the proposition two, the main argument is free lunches cost money and teach your own lessons. So that's the main argument. Do a quick research, not totally read it all, but try to write it on your paper about the argument and stuff like that. So finally, do any of you have any question about the slide? Okay, no then. Okay, no other questions. So I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes to prep your speech, and later on, I'm going to call each of you to present your own speech. Remember, just write it on paper. No reading of something, no using AI, intelligent something, artificial intelligent. Okay? Do you guys get it? Raise your hand if you understand. Okay, so I'm just going to start the prep time. Okay, your prep times has finished. So I'm gonna call one of you to talk about your speech. Who wanted to talk first? Raise your hand. Who wanted to talk first? Elon, do you want to talk first? Take the speech. Dylan. Dylan, do you want to take your speech first?
I think it's yes.
Okay, just begin.
My speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, horrible teachers and listeners, the questions of school's lunch payment in Britain sits at the intersections of competing priorities. Let's analyze regions, dimensions, academic device, studies of Scotland's universe, primary results from 2020 to 2022 showed 12% reduced the afternoon sick leave, 7 improvement in numeracy scores, 18 degrees in unhealthy snack consumption. However, Cambridge research notes plate waste increased 22% with the steamer as incentive to finish meals. Political landscapes. Conservative proposals expand eligibility to 20,000 pound incomes, but requires increased reserves for inventories from families. And thanks for listening.
Okay, that's pretty short. So firstly, the content. So yeah, so some of the words that you says is kind of like mispronounced because I can't actually understand what you are saying. Just like you need to bring up your argument, for example, free meals help students and family. So make it much easier because when you are presenting your speech, there are kind of few words that I think you might mispronounce those words, would make it pretty hard to understand what you are actually saying. So you just speak for about 1 or 2 minutes right here. So you spoke pretty clearly, and it's not actually so strong because some of the words you mispronounce and it's hard to understand. You also need to get your main argument. You did have example and evidence, but it's not actually clear what you're actually saying. Now, Lily, do you want to present your speech?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Lily. So today I'm going to talk about should school lunches be free. I will talk about the position one first. School lunches should be free because hungry kids will struggle to concentrate in class if they do not have free food. Proper nutrients help brain develop and boost academic performance. When students get free lunches, they will concentrate better in class. Also, if they has different lunch than other people, they might be embarrassed because of their lunch. And when many students have the same lunch, it will treat our students equally, and there isn't a gap between the rich and the poor. Food costs can add up. Free school meals help families stretch their budgets, especially in tough economic times. Schools meals often meet nutrient guidance that some packed lunch don't. For many children, school meals are the most balanced meal of the day. They can help students focus in class, perform better. They wouldn't help rich people. We can only help poor people, and it will be less money. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so yeah, you did talk about like about 2 minutes, but that's okay. But it's not actually clear that you have your arguments. You need like more example evidence, more hand gesture, like eye contact, more, and you need to explain your arguments or detail more detail and more example to make your point stronger. So you spoke clearly and your voice was loud enough. Your pronunciation was good. Yeah, but you need to explain longer, like more about one or two arguments. It's had to be like clearly that you have arguments, explain your sides well. I just wait for a minute. Okay, Laura, you can start your speech. I will open the timer. Laura? Yeah. I can't hear anything, Laura.
Hi, Marie. Hi, my friends. Today I will argue about the questions: should school lunches be free? So now let's begin. Firstly, free lunches help families, like especially with those low income. By making lunches free, we ensure that every student, no matter their background, or had at least one healthy meal each day. Secondly, good nutrition is closely linked to the better learning. When students eat balanced meals, their brain is learning too. They concentrate more and their economic performance improves. Free lunches also like reduce shame and bullying to each student. Everyone will get the same meal. No one feels embarrassed about getting poor. It helps create a kinder and fairer school environment where students can focus on learning. Some people argue that nothing is truly free and it costs lots of money. That's true, but investing in children's health pays back in the long run. In conclusion, free school lunches are not just about food. They're about fairness, better learning, and giving every child the same chance to succeed. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Okay, you speak for about 2 and 60 seconds. That's okay. So firstly, the content. You have some good ideas. You have argument, which is very great, and you show that you understand the topic. So your argument makes sense. Just to improve that, you need to explain about more idea, like more example, evidence, and something like that to make your point stronger. So your pronunciation was good, and yeah. So you explain it well. You need time when you speak. You need to more example like real life evidence, like I just tell you about. And that's it. You just need to improve some of like more detailed explanation, more deeper, and example and evidence. That's it. Okay, do you have any question about today's topic? Today's topic and like the motion? What do you guys still feel about today's topic? Laura. Laura?
I think it's like closely the same like the before topic, but today is like it's much more better and I can like improve my speaking, and also I can have like I can give a perfect speech from your advices.
Okay. Thank you. So how about Lily? What do you think about today's topic?
Today's lesson is helpful and I learned a lot from it.
Yeah. Thank you. Dylan. Dylan,
Yes.
what do you think about today's topic?
So I think today's topic is great, and you take helps me that understand the lessons better, and I can give more interesting ideas more.
Okay, so our lessons come to an end. So thank you to our participants in today's sessions. So our meeting is ended now. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Goodbye.